Over the past several years, Netflix has certainly been no stranger to controversy, but I can't imagine anyone thought it was going to get this bad when it comes to Queen Cleopatra, the race swap fake history docu-series by Jada Pinkett Smith on Netflix. When the first trailers came out, it got destroyed, it got ratioed to hell, and of course, they had to turn the comments section off because people were being so mean with historical facts. And after it was finally released, people could see just how bad this was, what a joke this was, trying to make a mockery of history by pretending like Cleopatra was actually black, and we saw the reaction from everyone. Netflix Queen Cleopatra hits rock bottom with Rotten Tomatoes critics and the audience. It's not just review bombing by fans in the audience. No, the critics despise this as well. The critics roasted this thing, and you can see, congratulations, Black Cleopatra stans. You've got that audience score all the way up to a 3%. Still the worst score in Netflix history. But how could you expect the audience not to react like this when you go out there and you basically brag about changing history? And anybody that doesn't agree with it, including the country you're talking about, Egypt, you go out there and you call them racist. You call an entire country racist because they have a problem with you changing their history. And then if anybody makes any complaint about it at all, you know what? They're also racist, according to the director, according to the lead actress herself. Well, now that we actually have some numbers, we can tell you whether this was just a smash hit for Netflix, whether all the haters were wrong. Well, the numbers are in, and it's not good for Queen Cleopatra. Despite bragging about it being number 4, and even the cast and crew saying this could get to number 1, we could be the number 1 show in the world. That didn't work. In fact, after just a few days, Queen Cleopatra fell completely out of the top 10. That's not normal for one of these big releases like this. Usually they have staying power. Usually they stay in there. You can see of all the things in the Netflix top 10 right now, virtually all of them have been there multiple weeks. Some of them 8, 7 weeks in the top 10, some even more. Queen Cleopatra debuts in this week at number 7. They couldn't even get past things that have been out for 8 weeks, 7 weeks. There was another thing that got released on its first week, Missing Dead or Alive, that also did better numbers than it. All these things it could not overcome. And by next week, since it's not in the top 10 anymore, it's done. This was its only week. You had about 4 days in the top 10. You accumulated these numbers, and that's it. It's over. This reminds me so much of the complete and total failure that was The Witcher Blood Origin when they bragged about it hitting number 1 on its first day. And that's true, it did. It hit number 1 on its first day, better than Queen Cleopatra could have possibly imagined. And that fell off almost immediately, only spent 2 weeks in the top 10. And this was considered a catastrophic failure for Netflix. Well, obviously, Queen Cleopatra, this is even worse. This is even more embarrassing for them. And the audience score breaks that Blood Origin record. What before was the lowest Netflix thing we've seen, now we have something like Queen Cleopatra at a 3% from the audience, a 15% from the critics. It's getting laughed at, it's getting mocked relentlessly, and it didn't even do numbers. Number 7 in the top 10, and likely its one and only week in the top 10. You have things like Night Agent, The Diplomat, obviously Bridgerton. Bridgerton's a hit, so like Bridgerton, you can do whatever. A lot of these other shows, these are just shows that have been there for 7, 8 weeks in the Netflix top 10. Look at this stuff here. Firefly Lane Season 2, been there for 8 weeks. All this stuff has staying power. Queen Cleopatra, likely when you see the next week's worth of ratings, won't be there. It probably won't make the top 10 because so many other things are coming out and so many other things are dominating it right now. Let me know what you think about another catastrophic, pathetic failure for Netflix's Queen Cleopatra. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.